Tonight we continue our exploration of angels, and I hope to answer the questions, what do angels do exactly? What is their purpose? Welcome to the North Transept. Hello, I'm Father Ericefialho, and welcome to the channel. If you are new here, please like, subscribe, share, ring bells.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
All of it helps grow this small channel, and all of it helps build out the North Transept. Last time, in part one of this three-part series, I took you on a quick dive into the nature of angels, what they are, what they consist of, and why God created them. And tonight we'll wonder about the work of angels and what their role is in creation and in human history. So let's get into it. Let's first look at what Holy Scripture and the traditions of the Church reveal about the order or hierarchy of angels. For time reasons, I'm not going to get into specific passages of Holy Scripture and parse out what each passage has to tell us about the work of angels. Trust me on this one. Holy Scripture is the foundation upon which all of what I'm going to share with you rests. It teaches us that angels are very organized beings. Think of them almost like soldiers of God, to utilize military terminology. They're actually organized into different ranks, and each rank has a different name, and each rank or group of angels does different things. The Church has provided different frameworks and organizational structures that are at times very complex for a short YouTube video. But let me provide a quick breakdown. The Church has broken down the ranks of angels into so-called 9 choirs of angels. And I think when we think about them and their role and the work that they do, we often think about 2 particular groups. We think about those angels who worship God day and night, and those angels who aid and guard us. But there are many angels in between. Think of it this way. The first groups of angels are closest to God, and the last groups are those closest to us. Think of this list in descending order, again from God all the way down through the cosmos and earth, and then to us. So the first group. This is the grouping of angels closest to God, and they are the seraphim and the cherubim and the thrones. These are the angels dwelling in God's presence and worshiping Him day and night and reflecting His glory back to Him. The second group of angels are those who get and give God's thoughts and will. And these are the ranks of angels which include dominions, virtues, and powers. Now, as a priest fascinated with and interested in the healing ministry of deliverance and exorcism, these angelic ranks are often associated with miracles and healing, and with the fighting against demonic forces. The angelic rank of powers helps in this work in particular. Think of them engaging in defensive warfare. The third group are the angels who carry out God's broad work in the earth. So now in this third group, we're sort of getting closer finally to humans. Under this group, there is only one rank, the principalities. These are the angels who form and shape human history through nations, leaders, and whole groups of people. In human history terms, these are the angels who look down at the 30,000-foot view of human events and help make big positive things happen in the world through God's beautiful grace. The last group are the angels who are certainly most familiar to us, well, because they have to do with us and deal with us. And we as human beings are pretty self-centered overall. Since these angels deal with us directly, we can easily think about them and contemplate them, and even pray with them the most. These groups of angels are those who work with humanity directly. And the archangels and the angels belong to this group. These are the angels who minister directly to us, give us messages and revelation, and guard us in our everyday battle against rebellious angels. So again, a very brief breakdown of the 4 main groups of angels which contain the full 9 choirs of angels. 1. Angels that worship God. 2. Angels who get and give God's will. 3. Angels who shape what is happening in creation and in the world. And lastly, 4. Angels who work directly with and for humans. At every Mass, the priest usually says the words, "We join our voices with angels and archangels and all the company of heaven." By saying this, we are affirming that angels perform the job or tasks of being witnesses, that aside from us, they are the other beings who give praise to God, and that angels support us. In many ways, that simple line from the rite of Holy Eucharist is a road into understanding the roles of angels and how they pertain to our life and our work. Now, a quick aside. We have depicted angels in art and media as beings with human forms and with wings, and I think we've done this because, well, first, like I said in the first part of the series, we can often see ourselves closely linked with angels, and well, the descriptions in Holy Scripture aren't really that many, and they really aren't that comforting, to say the least. In Holy Scripture, the seraphim are described like this. Isaiah 6:2 tells us, "Above him stood the seraphim. Each had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew." The cherubim in Ezekiel 10:12 and 14 are described like this, quote, "And their whole body, their rims and their spokes, their wings and their wheels were full of eyes all around. And every one had 4 faces. The first face was that of a cherub, and the second face was that of a human face, and the third face was that of a lion, and the fourth face was that of an eagle." The most ancient passage in Holy Scripture on the role of cherubim is from Genesis 3:24. It tells us that God drove out man, Adam, and at the east of the Garden of Eden, he placed the cherubim and a flaming sword. So this angel is literally guarding the very way back to the garden. A sort of firewall, literally, was placed between man and the garden. We have had many angels appearing to people before the birth of Jesus. Mary, Joseph, Zechariah, and the shepherds. But they're really never described in much detail in these visitations. When the angels appear to the shepherds, we are told that there are many and that God's glory was on full display. After the bodily resurrection of Jesus at the tomb that first Easter morning, we do receive descriptions of what the angels looked like at the tomb, a man or men in dazzling white garments. So when we look at the work of angels in Holy Scripture, we see them doing many things, not just giving us revelation and messages and guardianship. They worship God, they transmit God's will, and work in the higher heavens doing battle against evil. And they help shape history. If you think about it, that's a pretty diverse set of tasks. Their work is very holistic, and it is closely linked to the very work of God. Next time, in the final part of this short 3-part series, I'll explore how angels aid us in our daily life, how we can pray with them, and how we can be on the lookout for their work in the everyday. May you continue to have a very blessed Advent, and I'll see you next time on the North Side. Good night.